Mukesh Tyagi, actor, is also joining us. Let me take that question to him. Mukesh, how do you look at this?
I think the film personalities across the board universally are under tremendous pressure. They are under tremendous pressure of delivering different kind of expectations from the directors. They have to build their bodies. They have to work hard in the gym. Then they have to deal with their script. How do they improvise? How do they exceed the benchmark? Now, in the new crop of actors, they really want to exceed the threshold of performance because look at the tsunami of exposures on OTT platform, films, the kind of investment, the volume of investment has gone up many-fold. So, there is so much of expectations. He is the focal point of all the expectations from the audience. From
I understand that, Mukesh. I understand that. The central point that I am trying to drive at. No, 1 second, Mukesh. This is a very serious issue, and I get a sense that people are being very frivolous with this. Everybody has pressures in their life, and many people face extreme hardships. What I am trying to understand right now is that people are now trying to suggest that because of a certain clique that exists in Bollywood, Sushant was sidelined. That is the allegation that is being made, and that drove him to commit suicide. Now, do you find it fair that such blame game is going on?
No, not at all. Actually, I'm on the contrary. He's one of the case studies who has transcended in 7 years' time. He has delivered 11 films, and that too also blockbusters. And he has created something from a middle-class family who came from Patna, from Purnia, to Delhi, to Bombay, who was doing his engineering college. He had no money. He was living in a dingy accommodation, sharing with 6 people. He transcended from a small film, from screen to such a big screen, and he created a big name. So if this clique is operating, that this clique would have destabilized him much earlier. Looking at the potential, I agree, the psychology can operate. When you see somebody rising a star, and that who doesn't have a dynastic base, is likely to face a problem with some of those people who enjoy the monopoly, not only in the film industry, in most of the industries, it could be the business industries as well, where the clique of few people who write the rules of the game can also write the game. But in this case, he has actually transcended, and he is accepted in that sense, because everybody is surprised that normally the taboo is that you should not do the small screen performances if you want to transcend into the bigger screen. But he has proved that also. So I do not see any signal consistently. Suddenly, in last 6 months, you think the clique will start operating to that level where he'll be abated to commit a suicide? I think it is completely preposterous argument. And I do not see, I think it's somebody is trying to malign Bollywood. Bollywood has become very transparent, and people are needing stars. There is a shortage of stars.
I understand what you're saying, but just to play the devil's advocate, the reason why these allegations or this kind of these reactions that have poured in after Sushant's suicide is because it's coming from some who have been who've been associated with the industry for a very long time. They've seen how it works. Someone like Kangana has been a rebel for quite some time, and she's someone who doesn't mince words. Shekhar Kapoor has hinted that the industry let him down. There are others who've said the same. So that is why I think there are now questions emerging. If the same people who show sympathy and compassion on Twitter, for example, after something like this happens, are not really treating their fellow industry people well, I think the question has become about duplicity and hypocrisy.
Is it duplicity and hypocrisy? But there is no evidence. There is no tangible evidence to prove that. Tell me which movie has been taken away from him. He was ready for another film which is about to get released, directed by Mukesh Chawla, which is a remake of a Hollywood film. He has got another film in the pipeline. So where is he lacking the work? He's constantly, so tell me the evidence on such and such thing. The project was handed over to him. At the last moment, he was asked to quit that project. I can understand, yes, this is a possible foul play, but it happens. I'm not denying that. I have seen myself, some of the superstars reigning at that point of time, when suddenly a call comes from the director or from one of the managers and says you are being dropped and we are taking another one the person is at the top, and suddenly you can see the amount of depression and frustration. I personally evidenced myself, and literally it was on the verge of collapse. I said, look, you are a reigning queen, you're doing so well, you're making so much of money, you have given, but still, you know, the envy and the competitive jealousy, I'm not going to rule that out. But in his case, I did not come across any tangible evidence which would establish that Click is trying to destabilize him. So I do not know if Kangana has got some better evidence.
Okay. I'm also joined by Stuti Ghosh and Nopur